Yeah! There he is. You hear me?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah!
We're here, man. We're here. Everyone, I introduce to you Mr. Michael Atlas Lane. And what can I say, man? Today's the day. Happy Halloween Eve. Hallows Eve.
Happy fucking Halloween, dude. Ah, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Woo! Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo Bill, right? Where's that from? Does it say where it's from? California or?
It's actually from San Jose, but
okay,
you know, fuck
gotcha.
It. Buffalo Bills for you.
Well, it is an absolute treat for me to be introducing my viewers and my friends and my family to one of my best friends. I'm gonna mute my phone here, but Jesus, man, what can I say? I've been waiting for this one for a long time. I feel like we catch up almost every day over the phone, but let's educate people on who is sitting right there with the you got the pumpkin KingDiamond toy, you got the candle on, you got one of your merch shirts. You have so many shirts. Pick that one, man.
My drums, my studio, which fucking we'll get to later.
Totally. Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, I just want to start. Today is October. Well, this is going to be airing October 31st, but we're filming this right now, October 30th. But let's see. So today in 1970, Elton released the Tumbleweed Connection record. You familiar with that?
Oh, yeah.
Are you? Okay. I know me and Ashlyn, our first date was Elton John, and you've seen Elton more times over than I could count in Vegas, getting into your own limo
crying.
The
same show, but a different leg and got the same shirt.
Yeah, that's right. So cool, man. And I love that. Pink Floyd released their Meddle, Meddle record, their sixth studio record, 1971, October 30th. Believe that. One of my all-time favorite songs. I don't know if I ever told you this, but it's Echoes by Pink Floyd. 23 minutes, just sick. But these facts of the day, man. 1990, Axl Rose had the cops called on him and ended up getting arrested for smashing a bottle over the neighbor that called the cops on him on the head.
Oh.
And that was in 1990. And then in 2004, your boy Vince Neil from Mötley Crüe, what did he do? He says he got arrested for knocking out his soundman in Dallas in 2004. Do you remember when that happened at all? Or?
Dude, all that shit was going on. It was like a different thing every week back then.
Right.
That's when MTV was actually still, good.
Yes. Yeah. I'm 32. Mike Lane, right there in San Pedro, California. He's 42. He's got me by 10 years. I'm going to get into how we met real soon. But we got a few birthdays today. Grace Slick. I was surprised to know she was still alive. Grace Slick is 81. Joey Belladonna, he's 60 of Anthrax.
One of the first shows I saw.
That's right.
Maiden, No Prayer for the Dying tour. Anthrax opened on Persistence of Time, Long Beach Arena. Joey Belladonna, happy fucking birthday.
Cheers. Happy birthday. This is my all-time favorite.
There it is.
Right here, the Sam Adams Oktoberfest this time of the year.
You got the last 12-er.
That's right, the very last 12-pack. Here we go. Cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Thank you.
You're going to get me fucking buzzed.
Another few birthdays. All right, so we have Gavin Rossdale. He is 53 years old. And quote of the day, we're going to go with Nelson Mandela, right? It always seems impossible until it's done. And that means a lot to me. I never thought that, growing up, I'd be moving to California to pursue my dreams and doing what you're doing and being on stage and in the acting business. But I tell you, man, we met a pretty cool way. And I mean, I could describe it, but what was that like? When we crossed paths for the very first time there in Los Angeles, California in 2015.
Oh my! Well, first of all, great shirt.
Thanks, man.
Great.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's right. That's right.
Do
Mike
everything
Lane of
wrong.
Detriment. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Do
Well,
everything wrong.
I love it. With the do off center.
Yes. Yes. That's right.
Well, that was, I'll never forget that day because so much stuff happened for me on that day. But I remember us going to the Stella Adler studio.
Yes.
Up there off of Hollywood Boulevard, where my dad and mom actually auditioned to get in Stella's class back in the day.
Oh, cool.
That's another story. But yeah, you and I were the only rockers. And when we all, auditioning is really weird, so I won't bore your audience with that. But sometimes you have to do it in like a crowd setting. So all the other, it was a Doritos commercial for the Super Bowl, and they were auditioning drummers.
Yep.
So there was, I don't know, what, 40 guys there maybe at a certain amount of time.
Thereabouts.
So everyone was sitting, you know, kind of down, and then one by one we would go up and do our thing. And you went up there just, you know, fucking bashing, which, by the way, I have the cymbal you broke, you fucker, from my studio.
You still have that, huh?
I'm going to show it later.
Okay.
But yeah, you went up there bashing, and I'm like, man, this guy's a metalhead. And then, you know, obviously I went up and we both booked it. Cut to us filming out in Orange County, and you and I, we had a break, and I was like, you know, hey man, you like Metallica? Just, you know, like a fucking 12-year-old kid at junior high or something. And you're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I saw the Black Album tour, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, you mentioned the Black Album. I mean, there's something just going on down here, man. I'm like, holy shit. So that sparks flew when you mentioned Black Album and the Metallica thing. And dude, I'll just go back to Stella Adler Theater. I mean, here's me going back to the Mandela quote. It seems impossible until you, I'm going to quote that again. It always seems impossible until it's done. So I went into this drummer's audition. They're auditioning drummers. You got street performers. You got professional musicians. And then here's me, dude. I just put it right in my head, like exactly. Dave Grohl, he describes Nirvana as just three guys who didn't play their instrument well, but just played it hard and just went after it. And it was sloppy and messy. And man, I remember I was picking something up, picking it up, and all of a sudden it was like Endless Nameless off the Nevermind record. And just, we had kitchen appliances to make 30-second noises out of. Yeah. So for those 30 seconds, that was your time to shine. And I remember I was probably like fourth or fifth. I was towards the beginning. I remember you went a little bit later. It's total blur what happened after, but we were called back, and then we ended up filming for, it didn't make the Super Bowl, but we had a really cool commercial that we filmed. And I tell you, I met one of my best friends right here, right now, is Mike Lane. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but, you know, I have so many, as you know, so many very close friends and family very close to me in Buffalo, New York here. And out in California, I met a lot of cool people. In fact, they talk about the most interesting man on the planet. I'll tell each and every one of you who's watching this episode right now, Mike Lane is the most interesting man that I know. So we'll get a little bit into that. But man, honestly, I'm thinking to myself, this guy's being way too nice for being in LA, because let's face it, everyone has their own agenda and is doing their own thing. You know, whether it's girls working out in the gym or, you know, friends like you that you'd meet, people are nice, but then it's like, okay, you know, we'll see you later. And that never happens. We never see each other later. But there's something about you. Of course, we clicked on Metallica, but there was just some cosmic energy there, man. And I'm thinking to myself, is he hitting on me? Is he, you know, I'm putting up, does he want something out of me or something? But whatever. And probably a few months later, dude, we're talking April of 2016, that I drive 5 hours over to Las Vegas to see Guns N' Roses play their first arena show together since 94 or whatever. Yeah. And Alice in Chains were opening. I'm up there, 200 level, wherever the fuck, and by myself. And Alice finishes, and who's coming up the walkway here is your ass. And, you know, we talk about the metal gods that Rob Halford, you know, there's just something that just kind of brought us together. And even like a few weeks ago, man, I quoted, you know, hey, I'm gonna go put on the Merciful Fate's Banshee song, and sure shit, you were just listening to that song out of nowhere. You know, it was just the other day I brought up Metallica's Judas Kiss. You were just listening to that song. That's just scratching the surface about, you know, how cool it is that you just, you know, Jason Newsted says you shouldn't try hard when you listen to music. You really shouldn't have to try hard with your friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a two-way street, but long story short, well, long story long, cheers, man, and this is great.
Cheers. Just really, really quick, and then we'll get into the next topic. But that's how it was. I remember, you know, in junior high, you know, you mentioned the 10-year age gap. Back in the, come on, you know I love that. I'm watching that tonight at the Witching Hour, by the way, you know.
Cool, gotta do it.
Hocus Pocus, you know, all this stuff, Beetlejuice. But I remember, you know, my band we were doing a lot back then, and I was wearing like I think like a Napalm Death shirt or something, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey man, you know, you like metal? I mean, you know, we're kids, so just a elementary kind of, you know, conversation, and we're like, yeah, and we ended up becoming friends for life, you know. And that's just the metal community. That's just how we are and how it's always been. If you like metal and if you like the same shit, then brothers forever. That's it. That's how it goes.
It's very true. And I remember one of those things that we were talking about when we first met each other was, yeah, it was Metallica, but really how it was to be back in the day.
On a Mansion.
Nice.
Cracking my second beer with all these fucking cheers, man.
Dude.
Cheers.
Well, that's how us Lavellos do it. We do like to cheers. Cheers, man.
I interrupted you. Go ahead.
We talked about how it was to be back in the day, like going to metal shows in 1990 in the late 80s and stuff like that. Obviously, we're missing shows these days.
Yeah.
And it's just an extension of our, you know, personalities and our souls and our social life is to go to these kind of things. And I know how much you would be missing it because, man, let's face it, during the summertime, dude, it's probably every day, every other day, you're finding some place, some concert to go to. And you know what? McLachlan, he never buys tickets to shows before the show. He arrives at the show, and maybe if you give our viewers about what really goes down of how you get into these buildings, huh?
Well, first of all, I got to give a shout out to Jordan, aka J Glam, fucking Monster Man, everything. You know, he has so many nicknames. Wild Hair, Wild Man. But when I met Jordan, we were averaging, dude, I'm not exaggerating, like at least 100 shows a year. I mean, it was fucking crazy, you know. But you know, one thing I will say about this lockdown thing, it kind of, you know, made me rewind back to when I was a kid, because back then you would maybe get a big summer show or Mötley or the GNR Metallica show or the Black Album tour. You know, you would go to shows maybe, you know, a few times a year, mainly because I was, you know, 12, 13. But, you know, be reading the magazines and really getting into the band and really, you know, writing them letters and just fandom, just being a kid, being a fan. So during this lockdown, you know, I kind of started to appreciate the bands that I already loved more. It's kind of like when people, you know, get married again, you know? So I'm renewing my vows with fucking Metallica and Dion and just everyone, you know? Maiden, Anthrax, AC/DC, I mean, you name it, you know? So that's one thing I will say that's kind of cool. And, you know, but obviously we all want to get back out there and, you know, even us, you know, look at my drums, you know, that's why I did this here so you guys can see, you know, we lost our studio due to COVID. We were going to play with 6 Feet Under at the Whisky actually like last week. So, you know, we all want to get back out there, but, you know, just using this time just to kind of reintroduce myself to why I love metal. And this stuff, metal that we love and we're into, our brotherhood, this is honestly the only thing that's keeping me going through all this bullshit, you know? So
yeah. Hey man,
here's the fucking metal.
Cheers to that, brother. And
by the way, I hope there's no restrictions on the F word, because
well, my parents are gonna be watching. And they know.
I can't wait to meet them, by the way.
Yes, yes. My mother and father can't wait to meet you too. And maybe there's going to come a time where you come here for a Mariah Carey concert or Celine Dion.
Well,
Honestly,
we're going to do Billy Joel.
we are going to do Billy Joel. McLachlan is a metalhead through and through, a damn near spirit animal. But on his performance, on the jean shorts that you perform in, you have Mariah Carey pins. You know, you've been in a Britney Spears music video. You've been in some of these videos. Tell us about how, like, why Mariah Carey? Why Sarah McLachlan or LeAnn Rimes? You know.
Well, I won't spend too much time on this because we got to get to the other stuff. But
right,
a balance. You know, I guess this kind of segue into it. Like, Detriment was kind of a reaction to my environment and how I grew up and just the craziness, you know, death metal and, you know, thrash metal, Slayer, all those bands, just expressing myself. And you can only, you know, eat pizza for so many days until you want, you know, Mexican food or Lebanese food or so on and so forth. And Elton John, Mariah Carey, God, the list goes on. So much shit, I can't even start to think about it. But all the way to country. And, you know, when I saw Greg Allman, that, like, changed my life. So it's a balance. You know, you got to have sensitivity. You got to have love. You got to have death. You got to have, you know, the things that go along with life. If it's all one thing, then, you know, what's the fun of that? You know, you got to have a little romance. You got to have a little, you know, scariness on the edge, teetering on the edge. You know, that's why, for me personally, I'm kind of mixing this all into music. You know, playing on a click and all that shit with drummers, that's one thing. I get it. But just like Dimebag Darrell said before he died, he said, you know, when the drums kind of speed up or the guitar riff kind of slows down and comes back up, that's the shit. That's the excitement. So after playing death metal or listening to a lot of dark music, you know, you put on some Sarah McLachlan or something totally different. You know, we mentioned Billy Joel, and that, you know, it soothes the soul a little bit. It's kind of massaging your musical interest, you know?
Yep. And when you started a band called Detriment, and Detriment death metal band. See, until I met you, I steered clear of death metal, but I did grow a...
Shame on you.
Yeah, man. And you've opened me up to, you know, the Carcass and Deicide and Morbid Angel and death and all that kind of stuff. And thank you for that. But Detriment, you even though Tommy Lee is your boy, Lars Ulrich is your boy as far as drums go, Randy Castillo, what turned you on the most about that style of music and death metal to form a band called Detriment? You know?
Oh, I love it. This goes way back to the early 90s and just trying to make my way. Again, you know, environment, you know, you are a product of your environment to an extent, you know, then you can change your life and all that shit. But, you know, doing what I was doing at the particular time, my environment, I wasn't feeling fucking happy. I wasn't feeling, you know, a certain way. I was feeling, you know, angst. I was feeling rebellion. I was feeling, you know, I don't want to use the word, I won't even say that word, but ostracized. You know, back then, if you had long hair and you were wearing a pentagram shirt with whatever band, you were the fucking devil. Yes. And you would be called out. It was a different time. I'm talking like 88 to like 92. I mean, it was definitely a divide. You know, metal was not as mainstream as it is now. Anyway, so started a couple of different bands, you know, started playing out in like 1990, but 91 started Detriment. And that was incredible because, you know, it gave me confidence, you know, it helped me. I started losing weight and just kind of building myself up as a drummer and as a death metal vocalist. I won't say singer, but a death metal vocalist. And we had a great run. I mean, we were definitely still are a local LA band, San Pedro. And we would bring bands up that, bands from San Diego, Disgorge and Deprecated, which is Derek from Suffocation's band, which we're still friends, and bringing up, bands from LA, Lepra, Sexism, all these great old school bands, Brainstorm, and playing with all this LA scene.
And you're playing at Gazzari's too.
Gazzari's, where, rip Eddie Van Halen, cheers to Eddie.
Yes.
Gazzari's is they were fucking that was their residency. Same with Warrant, same with, Mötley. Everyone played Gazzari's. Gazzari's was the shit,
Do you remember the Cat House?
I was a little too young for the Cat House. Was more of a bar, but Detriment played every single nightclub on the Sunset Strip. Coconut Teaser, Roxy, Gazzari's, Whisky.
Viper.
Play the Whisky all the time. Viper Room. But so anyway, started Detriment, and that really was like the beginning of the death metal scene. That was like 91. And 92 is when kind of like black metal and death metal really, it was really like the heyday, You had, Cannibal, Napalm, Deicide, Mayhem, all the great bands were really, really coming out at that time. But it was a great run. We did a 92 EP, we did a 94, a 96, and then, we had stuff later on, like 2013. We had God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Guitarist of Suicidal Tendencies playing on our album, and God, I'm gonna kill myself forget his name.
Solo.
Mike Clark.
Mike Clark.
And that album, in my opinion, was our best work. And Everyone Must Suffer. That's the latest. But it was a good run. Hollywood was different at the time. They banned death metal for a while. It was really hard. So going back to what I started, I know this is a fucking long-winded answer, but
all good,
we
man.
We had to throw our own shows. So we would rent out, Waters Club or the Whisky or Holy Gully. There was a lot of like warehouses and shit going on at that time. Yeah. And we would have these underground, parties. And I'm sure a lot of people that were there, including my buddy Bjorn from Vehemence, they got signed and had a lot of success. Were there at the time. I'm talking, this was like just in its infancy. This was fucking brand new. So we were definitely there at the groundbreaking, we had a fucking little shovel in that shit,
Yeah, right place, right time, and just me moving to LA, that was exactly one of my biggest things when I lived there is you pick the weekend, you pick the week, there's always bands playing. And after I met you, with your band Detriment, you're opening up for Tampa Bay's Deicide band. And that was
front
the first
row
time.
With the neck.
What's that?
You were front row with your neck.
Yeah. Yeah, with my neck during my headbanging days, man.
Yeah, it's a little thinner now.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Can you tell it's not Jason Newsted?
Oh yeah.
That's a good observation you make. But yeah, I'll be seeing a neurosurgeon on Tuesday for that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man, I got this itch underneath my foot since 2014. Maybe it came from my headbanging or something like that. But thank you to the folks at UB Neurosurgery. I'll be seeing them on Tuesday. But yeah, man, seeing Detriment, a lot of death metal that I've the stuff that you've shown me has got layers. It's up, it's down, it's brutal, it's melodic. That's the adjective. That's what Detriment was. When I'd watch you guys live, I would see death metal bands open up for other bands that I've seen. It's just straight, forward. If you look at sound, it's just straight. But this goes up, down, and I was definitely enjoying that up there. And And then I saw you again. I brought my cousin, Dr. Casey Bauskill. So the second time I saw Detriment. Yeah, Casey
We gotta
be
go walk
walking.
to Mescal.
What was that?
Canyon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Malibu is a cool fucking canyon up there.
Beautiful area up there. She lives in the Palisades. But you took us backstage upstairs in those godforsaken dressing rooms up there at the Whisky. I mean, if those, of any place in the world, if those walls could talk, you know what I mean? Holy crap.
Even for us, I mean, we were at a point where we were playing there, I don't know, twice a month, 3 times a month. I mean, I'm trying to like back in like 92, 93. I mean, the Whisky, we've been playing there the most. I mean, we definitely played there every single year of our like career, for sure. To go back to your question, Lars, Tommy Lee, Randy Castillo,
yes,
all that stuff, it was already done. The glam scene, which I hate that fucking word, but that's the only way to describe it now. But the metal scene that was more flashy, if you will.
Yeah.
Mötley, Randy Castillo playing with Ozzy at the time.
Winger,
and,
Lawrence,
even Lars, it to me at that time, it had already been done. And that style was kind of going out, and that's what got me into it. And still, those guys are my favorite drummers. But death metal, Pete Sandoval, Ken Owen from Carcass, those guys really opened up a new genre where I was, a kid, impressionable, and I wanted something new. I wanted something challenging. I didn't want to just do the AC/DC beat. I wanted, just really cool shit, and singing, being the fucking Phil Collins of death metal,
Yeah.
And, but incorporating, see, that's the thing. I think Steven Tyler said, he said, everyone's already done it. You just take it and make it better. So Tommy Lee and Lars, I took that and incorporated it into my own style, not taking it from them. So even when I'm playing now, I'm doing all the stuff, twirling, standing up, talking, being the front man, taking shots at the crowd, passing out shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all their influences are on me. I remember the day I bought, the first video I ever bought was Randy Castillo's drum licks. I mean, this had to go back to, like 89 or something, and, watching Lars and especially Tommy Lee with his drum solos. But yeah, so just kind of making my own style of the blend of the two, but where I was able to express myself the way that I felt I needed to. And that outlet was death metal, and it frankly still is,
Cheers to that, brother.
Cheers.
I want to show you something. Actually, was so excited to have you on IANO on. I bought the biggest pumpkin I've ever bought myself, ever. And I carved your face into it. Would you like to see what
Let's see it. Let's see it.
You see that? Yeah. There he is.
I can see the resemblance. I see the teeth and the eyes.
Yep, dude. This thing is heavy. And
dude, how did you get that stem? Is that real?
This stem is real, man. Isn't that nuts?
That is incredible. The one thing I look at for a pumpkin obviously is aesthetics, but the stem, I like a long stem on it.
It's part of the personality of the pumpkin, and I got that at Greg Spoth's farm out there. Me and Ashlyn, we made a day out of it, and she carved hers for the second time in her life, and this is one of my favorite traditions. And
I'm honored.
Also, yeah, man, I also got one of these, one of my favorites too during this time, to freeze some of these up.
Nice.
Right. But going back to our experiences, dude, and I asked no one episodes past, I brought your name up with smiles on my face because the amount of shows that you've gotten us into, insane. The 3 that come to mind first.
Oh, yeah. I already know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Gotta be Korn. Korn for the listening party of the new record at the Ace Hotel downtown LA. Again, I was sitting in your car listening to Open Up and Say Ah by Poison, and here you come around with tickets for the show.
And by the way, that fuckhead Slash opened up for Poison. He wants to deny it, but Slash?
Yes, Slash, that's right. Slash of
You know
Guns
who
N'
you
Roses.
really are.
He auditioned for Poison. CC DeVille. The way he guitar solos out of nowhere, I really, really like. We'll talk about Poison some other time. But that was an amazing night. And then it was GNR at the Dodger Stadium.
Oh,
Me,
yeah,
Jordan
floor.
Glenn.
Not even the floor, the pit. I gave you my wristband, you fucker.
You're like, you gave me the jungle bracelet, the jungle wristband to go in there. And basically that's Axl's pit. And
don't forget about Metallica backstage.
No, that's number 3 all the way,
that's
brother.
That's on your jacket.
Dude, it's in my jacket in my closet. Dodger, exactly. But Dodger Stadium with that wristband and during Sweet Child of Mine and being that close to the band was so sick. But yeah, I think the pinnacle of you coming through for me was and we came through for each other. You know, we got you down there on the floor, just broke a few little rules there. It's all good fun. But Avenged Sevenfold and Gojira were opening for Metallica at the Rose Bowl in 2017. And I went up there to come get you, and you just slapped that patch right on my battle vest. The very first patch. It had, the eat fuck in the back. But this one, you're like, dude, take this before I do. To this day, I have no idea how you got that patch, man.
Story for another time.
Really? You're going to leave me hanging?
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, forget it. Anyway, I stitched that exactly where you put it on my battle vest. And I just walked right back there, saw Joe Duplantier, Gojira, and I've seen Joe around the world play with Gojira. I've seen them probably 18 or so times, from Vancouver to Australia to Tampa Bay, Florida to LA, Toronto, and Montreal, and everywhere in between. So he recognized me, and we had a little chat, and I was one of the guys there. And then Metallica, they're playing their set, and Van Halen is from Pasadena, California, where the Rose Bowl is. And there they start jamming Running with the Devil.
By the way, they're naming a street after Eddie Van Halen for people that don't know.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And I have no recollection of them playing that song because I was backstage on the stage, and their bass tech, Zach, who's been with the band since the Justice Tour, looked at me and he's like, how'd you get back here? And just,
You're like, that guy.
That guy, yeah. And then the Metallica were coming backstage, and I was going to be like, okay, this is going to be very cool. Then they kind of scurried me off. And that's one thing I didn't tell you before was at the end of the show, to be right there under the stage, behind the stage, seeing Lars I get the chills, run down the stage and, throw his drumsticks and yell from the stage. You could just hear him yelling and what he's saying. And I thought that was such a cool thing I've never seen. And then they got into their Cadillac Escalades or whatever. I saw James get down, getting his. I saw Kirk and Rob getting theirs, and then Lars comes down. He gets a robe put on him. Just a full service, man. Just right in the back of his black car, and off they go. And that was all because of you.
They're probably staying at Bel Air.
What was that? They're probably staying at Bel Air,
yeah.
Hotel Bel Air,
dude,
yes.
Out of everyone I know, you deserved it. And I just want to give another shout out to Ryan, because Ryan played a huge role in that night, and we've been having a lot of cool talks lately. And Leonard was there, and of course Jay Glam, he was there. We were hanging out, so that was a really cool night.
Mike Lane's brother to us, and again, can't wait to have you here in Buffalo, New York, and taste some Jim's Steakout, some Mighty Taco, and some Gabe's Gate wings and so on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So what were some concerts that stand out to you that we experienced in California? Because I think in that year 2016 we really jammed a lot of shows in there.
Dude, I mean again, there's just so much shit.
Yeah.
Slipknot, Slayer, Slipknot, Slayer, which was Knotfest. That is the first thing that stands out, because I just remember, when they went into People Equal Shit, and I think that was the first time you heard it. and we were just fucking raging. And then of course Slayer was incredible. And dude, I gotta say, man, only because they don't tour and I fucking love them. A lot of people talk shit, but Winger. When we went to see fucking Winger at the Whisky, that was like blackout session. You know, that was fun. And that was the infamous. We were still getting to know each other, and I went to get the tickets. It was sold out show, by the way, at the Whisky. And I went to get the tickets. I come back, and I'm like, here, drink this. It's just a water bottle filled of fucking Jack or something, you know?
Absolutely legendary, man. And it was a Friday night, the Whisky. I remember pulling up the street right in front of it. What's the name of that street? You got the Sunset Strip, and then you
Doheny. Well, Doheny is where we were at, and we like flipped around, and then we parked right off Sunset in that little open air parking lot.
Yeah, absolutely remember that.
Across the street from Rainbow.
You know.
Oh, and Carcass.
Yep.
Dude, I still don't even know how that happened, but I scored us VIP tickets. We had a table, and we saw Carcass, and so those three, it'd be Knotfest, Carcass, and Winger. Those were well, and then of course, well, shit. Again, there's so much. I mean, Metallica in Vegas. But does that count as LA? I mean, that
yeah.
You know?
We've had
Def Leppard.
What's that?
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard. That weekend alone, filming the Slipknot music video, then going to see Def Leppard, and again, that was one of your selfless moments where you found a ticket before you found yourself a ticket, and you gave it to me. You're like, get your ass in there. We're probably a few songs in. And they were just starting fooling, you know, the late love, you know, whatever that intro is.
Yeah.
You know, does anybody want me? You know, it's just so you, man. My buddy, he gets guitar lessons from the guitarist of Britny Fox. And
yeah, that's a great band. I love Britny Fox. Great
Britny
band.
Fox, man. I hear them come on Hair Nation. I think of you immediately.
I bought that tape at fucking Music Plus.
Did you?
Yeah, in like, oh my God, 90 or 89 or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, I still have it. I still have that tape.
You know, Look What the Cat Dragged In, Poison's debut record, is the most hairspray I've seen on an album cover. But I would have to say the most that even takes it beyond that is that Britny Fox record. I think it's the self-titled record.
Oh, yeah. Girl School on it. I mean, it's such
Long Way to Love, or is that the song?
Long way to love. Yeah, it's great.
Speaking of that, can you give us any death metal growls? Is that for the stage only?
I mean, we gotta. That's for later.
Okay, dude, because there's another excuse that you're
link below. I'll put a link below.
Link below to that of you on stage.
I'm in chill mode.
You're in chill mode. Yeah, it's all adrenaline when you get on stage, and that's when you get the growls out. Is that correct?
Well, you know, it's again, you know, this actually, good you brought that up. Because I channel what I do from, you know, great singers like Lizzie Borden, Celine Dion, you know, KingDiamond, Danny Filth, by the way, from, if anyone hasn't, check out Cradle of Filth. But
which record? Cradle of Filth.
Elton, I channel that. So when I sing, and you know, I'm in the vocal booth or I'm performing, you know, I channel that through. So it's kind of like it's a different process, you know. To you know, you got to warm up. You got to, you know, it's a tool too. It's an instrument, you know.
What do you do to warm up backstage before you go to play in front of, you know, 50,000 people?
Well, I do a few things. When it's always hectic. You know, everyone wants to say they do this, and this, but it's always crazy. I like to do the usual lemon and honey. I don't even give a shit about the water, but I like squirt some lemon and honey down there. And believe it or not, as crazy as this shit sounds, I like to have a shot of whiskey, you know, depending on what I'm drinking at the time, Jim Beam or Blackened, you know,
yeah, Blackened,
or Four Roses. That's a good bourbon. So I'd like to have a little shot and have a beer. And for some reason, that kind of coats my throat a little bit, and you know, it helps.
Yeah. Well, San Pedro, California, where you're born in New Orleans, right?
No, I was born actually at UCLA, where I went. Go fucking Bruins. So
Yeah, blue and gold.
yeah, my parents are from New Orleans. My dad came out here in late 60s, 70s, and then had us kids, and I was born at the UCLA hospital. And then we kind of moved around and then ended up in Pedro.
Dude, your head peaked out there. You just started death metal growling, or
Yeah.
just maybe got into some Lars. I just love playing the drums. I just
Yeah.
love playing them.
By the way, the first time I saw Metallica, that shit was like Greg Allman. That was life changing. Seeing them, because back then on the Black Album, they would have a lot of fun. They would switch instruments, and that was
3-hour sets.
It was just such a fun time for Metallica back then,
Yeah.
And I saw that tour twice at the Forum, or 3 times at the Forum. Rose Bowl went for the Guns N' Roses, and then Pasadena. Rose Bowl and the Coliseum.
The Coliseum.
Those 2, and then like 3 at the Forum.
That's so badass, dude. And last week when I had my sister Hannah Claire on, you got to check that one out too. We talked about.
I saw it.
Yep. Metallica playing the
Do it.
drive-in. Yep. Mm-hmm. Do it, man. Me too.
Thanks for that, Ryan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but the drive-in, Metallica drive-in, they were the first rock band besides country to have that drive-in show. And coming up here in a few weeks, they're going to be playing from their own headquarters. They're playing an acoustic set to support their All Within My Hands Foundation.
Oh, yeah, you already know what it is on that.
Dude, and every show, they donate part of the ticket percentage, $10,000 whatever dollars, to the local food banks, every single city that they play in. They're not only the greatest American band of all time, they're the biggest heart. They have the biggest heart. That's just
the best. Classy.
Class act. You talk to any bands that open up with them, for them, it's just all classy stuff. But yeah, me and you, we're going to be in headquarters watching Metallica play their acoustic show November the 13th.
On the virtual board.
Dude, I just found out the band are going to be playing, and it's going to be they're going to be
surrounded.
By screens of fans' faces. And so you pay $100, which I did and Mike did too. You're going to be one of the faces that are going to be on a screen for one entire song. So here's to hoping that, hey, you and me are on the same exact song. Imagine that.
I'm telling you, dude, it's going to be like the fucking Brady Bunch. You'll be looking down, choosing.
Yeah. Looking this way, looking this way, looking this way. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I agree. Again, kind of, we're probably running out of time, but we met because of Metallica. We're here because of Metallica. And I can't thank that band enough for, especially, Lars and Tommy and all the other guys that made drums pop out and make it an actual forefront of the band. And dude, for Lars doing that, man, that's like, cheers.
Yeah, you got it down. All right. So it's Halloween Eve. I know you spent a lot of this quarantine time just buying every piece of merch that's on KingDiamond's website, Merciful Fate's website, Slayer, Demille Borgir maybe, Metallica's website. You bought so much Metallica merchandise during this quarantine time, and just stocks worth of shirts that you have actually changed the way that fans could return merchandise on their website. With all your requests, you made it more streamlined, more seamless for folks like you. You're got an XL, maybe it's a little too snug. You get a double XL, you go to Mike's return page.
Well, dude, just going back to the whole thing is that, it's so great that these bands, like King Diamond, he actually did it before Metallica did like a streaming event of a previous show at the Fillmore. And that was really cool, and offering things for the fans to feel. Listen, we got to feel normal. I don't care if there's people out there probably watching this that like whatever the hell they like. Every genre out there, which I like. I like everything from, metal to rap to R&B to country to blues to this, and this. So whatever you're into, even if it's not even music, if it's amusement parks or if it's just going out, the fact that our bands, as we always say, are offering something for us just to occupy our mind for a few bucks. I mean, to get your mind off that to me, that's priceless, you know? So the fact that Metallica is doing this stuff where we can engage at home and be on screen and, you know, just have happiness. I mean, with the turmoil the world's going in, I mean, I wrote a song back in '92 called Pandemic. I mean, need I say more? And if you want to hear that shit, you can hear it. And I'm talking about the same shit that's going on right now. Global warming, corrupt government, all this bullshit. I mean, so this isn't anything new. It's just heightened and more bullshit, layered on more bullshit. So if I can go into Metallica, KingDiamond, Slayer,
Disneyland, Disney World,
and just feel normal, have a little normalcy, dude, I'll take it. I'm in.
I love that you're one of my favorite things about you and most inspiring things about you is you're 42 years old. You're very close to your family.
What?
42 years.
What the fuck? I'm 42. You hear him?
Secret's out, dude.
I didn't know that.
You're 42 going on 22 in your mind. And I think that is the thing that I clicked with the most with you, man. You're one of the best listeners that I know. There's a reason why I could be on the phone with you for an hour, you know, and randomly during the day. I'm with Ashlyn, and I'm so blessed, and we're into 2 years and everything. And I remember before Ashlyn was around, you know, it was just me and you just talking about from Meddle to everything else underneath the sun, and just really thankful for that. And I needed that person at times out there in California, just being so busy with restaurants and pursuing auditions, doing my own thing, to call me out. Hey, dude, get your ass over here. Let's go see, you know,
Carcass.
Let's go see Winger. And just really, really awesome. We stayed in contact nearly every day since I had to peace out in 2016. I told you the only way I would stay in California, granted, I felt very victorious leaving there with the things that I set out to do and accomplish. But you're a big reason why I miss being out there. These kind of things are so cool. Let's do it a little bit more. But
yeah,
man, cheers and happy Halloween to you, dude.
Hey, I've been waiting to say this. We're out of fucking beer. More beer.
You see what I'm saying?
But hey, listen, I want to do something while you cheers. I know it's virtual, but so I have these on my kit, right? Yeah. Whenever I play, and Mardi Gras is being, you know, fucked during everything, and if I can get this shit off here. Anyway, I got one off.
Take my shirt off.
But this is a tradition, and if anyone has been living under a rock, we have something called Mardi Gras, and we throw beads off the bus for anyone who is showing us their you know what. So Kevin, give me a flash. No, you don't. But anyway, I want to throw you and your viewers. What? No, I want to throw you and your viewers some beads, and happy fucking Mardi Gras, and happy world. Happy life, health, wealth, prosper, grow, learn. We're forever students. And that is it, dude. Here you guys go. Catch. Did you get it?
Love it. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah. It always seems impossible until it's done. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hungry. And Michael Atlas Lane, dude, you just can stay motherfucking heavy doing happy Halloween, dude.
Dude, happy Hollow fucking Ween.
Halloween. I'm going to keep you on real quick. Just this is going to be our outro song. I got to put it on, dude. I only play it on Halloween.
You know what to put on.
You know, that's it, man. It's
Fatal. Dude, this is what got me into Halloween. Fatal Portrait.
Yep, that's
Do it.
Something else. You hear that?
Yeah. Dude, Dude, you came out of retirement.
I did. I heard a crack. Did I hear a crack?
Oh, I see 1/4 of an inch of your neck growing right now.
Every day is Halloween, man. See ya.